you do that? And I said to him, I never even thought of it. He said, it must be really hard. He said, if I have to speak in front of 20 people, it's like a big deal. And I said, you know what? There is such love in these arenas, in these places that I go. It's true that it's easy to do. It's actually easy. It's actually easy to do. And I meant it, I really mean it. And he didn't understand it because he said, how is it possible? But it's true. There is such love in the arena. And I don't have teleprompters, right? I don't have teleprompters. And I don't have a speech that you read. And the nice part about doing it the way I do it, number one, it's more exciting. Number two, you're always prone to make a mistake every once in a while, which is always exciting also. So you have a little bit more pressure, which is good. It's good for the adrenaline. But you don't have the teleprompters. I can talk about today's news. I can talk about stuff that happened an hour ago driving over here. I can tell that. We can tell all sorts of things, and we can do things that you can't do when you're reading off a teleprompter. I was watching Hillary Clinton 2 days ago, reading off the biggest teleprompters I've ever seen. And it was outside. And I've never seen this. They were like painted black on the back. On the back, they were painted. Get him out of here. Get him out. Get him out of here. Get him out of here. He's all mouth. He's all mouth. Get him out. Get him out. Isn't it great to be at a Trump rally, really? Right? It's more fun. Troublemaker. These are troublemakers. Look. Do you notice they're singles? There's very few of them, but they're singles, and they go into one location. There'll be some at other locations, and they'll scream a little bit. We'll have to stop for a couple of minutes. We'll have a good time. We'll have a good time. And, I always say, the cameras now, look at all those cameras back there. Who has that? Look at all those red lights. That means you're on live television. Hello, cameras. I always say I love that because, we don't want to have too much disturbance, but I like it because the only time the cameras show how many people are there, and they can't see up there. Go ahead, let me hear it up there. Let me hear it. This is a big place. But the only time they show these massive crowds is when they think there's trouble. Because trouble means, oh, that's bad for Trump. So I love you too, even though you got a bad seat up there. Wow. So you'll see, and you'll find out they're singles. It's a single here, a single there. It adds up to like 4 people, but, they make a big deal. Oh, the riots. There are no riots. And I want to thank the police. The police do a great job. They do a great job. Thank you. They do a great job, our police. There they are. They are great. Thank you, fellas. Great. And women, thank you very much. So, last night on the debate, I don't quite get this. I got these phenomenal reviews, right? Because I was, nice. But isn't the other more, exciting? Don't we like the other better? I won all of the debate polls. They say, you know, debate. And, you know, by the way, Ted Cruz is a great debater. But I always say he can debate, but he can't talk, right? Can't talk. But last night was very civil. There was something about it. And I said to myself, I'm not going to talk about lying Ted, because, ooh, does he lie? He lies. I'm not going to mention the fact that Governor Kasich, you know the story, he disappeared. He lived in New Hampshire. I mean, he lived there. And he said he's going to win New Hampshire. I won in a landslide. He then he left Ohio. He left Ohio. He then lived, where did he live? South Carolina. And he was going to win South Carolina. And then all of a sudden that didn't work out. Then Michigan, his neighboring state, he's going to win Michigan. And he literally moved to Michigan. And he lost. I won in a landslide, right? But Ohio hit oil. Ohio hit oil. And it made a difference. Now the problem with Ohio is the oil is way down, and they've lifted up their budgets 36%, the most in the United States, which is a problem. And the governor, I call him the governor, and I like him. I like him. But he's in favor of the the Trans-Pacific Partnership, the TPP. It's a disaster. Folks, it's a disaster. You have a massive number of countries, 12 at this moment, and it's going to be increased. Because you know who's lurking in the background of that deal? China. China wants to get in that deal, and they're not in it yet, but they want to get in it, and they want to reap those benefits. It is the dumbest deal. It doesn't talk about monetary manipulation, devaluation of their currency, etc. Doesn't discuss that. All of these countries are lumped in. It's thousands of pages. I heard like 7,000 or 8,000 pages long. Nobody's read it, except for the other countries. They've read it. We haven't read it. The other countries read it. You know, those countries, they read it. We don't read it. And it will be a disaster, I can tell you, because I'm going to be going to Ohio very soon, a place that I love. I've lived there. I did jobs there. When I was young, I did a job with my father called Swifton Village. I bought it, fixed it, and sold it. And it was like an early experience for me. And it was a great experience for me because we did really well with it. And that's like, you know, that's like in golf, you sink the first putt, you feel good for the rest of the round, or in baseball, you get a hit. Well, that was early for me, and it was a great hit for me, and I felt, you know, it gave me almost, you could say, it gave you extra confidence to go on with your life. But you can't do and this pertains to every place. You can't do that deal. That deal's a disaster. And today in the New York Times and in the Wall Street Journal, they have articles that Trump is totally changing what's happening with respect to our attitude on trade. Now, I like trade, and I'm a free trader. You know, a lot of these very conservative people, of which I'm more conservative than they are in many ways, but on trade, I don't quite qualify. I am a free trader, and free trading is good. We're all free traders. But it's got to be reasonable. It's got to be fair. It's got to be smart, right? So with China, this year, we'll lose $505 billion for the privilege of trading with them, right? So then I hear, no, think about it. 505. By the way, with Mexico, $58 billion we're going to lose. And we will build the wall, folks. We will build the wall.
After everybody leaves, but when do they file past?
That's what's unclear.
Attention stations now 3 minutes away from the group generic live shot. This is Brandy Hitt reporting from Simi Valley, California. We are going forward with our group generic live shot in less than 3 minutes now on Nancy Reagan's funeral.
Yeah.